Hi, welcome to the first answer session of Chicken Chat. I'm Colonel J.S. Congleton here in Fromunda Farm, Kentucky, answering your questions about backyard poultry, specifically chickens. And let's get right down to it. Our first question today comes from Janet, and it says, Dear Colonel Congleton, I live in the city and have just recently decided I wanted a few chickens in the backyard to enjoy, and of course some fresh eggs. What kind and how many chickens should I get? Thanks, Janet in St. Louis. Well, Janet, that's a very good question and a very good beginning question to ask, and it's a question filled with wisdom. Always, when you get that hatchery book and you're going through looking at all the different kinds of breeds and varieties of chicken, you're always overwhelmed because you don't know, other than the brief little description, that what goes on. I can say that if you're a beginning chicken person, and for reading from your letter, you are, I would recommend some of the more common breeds like Orpington, the Jersey Giants, the Wyandottes, the Plymouth Rocks, all of those different things. Generally, you're going to go with about the same disposition. The attitude of a bird really can come from how much you handle it, but a lot is done on breeding and disposition and selection. I've always pushed the Orpingtons, Buff Orpingtons. They're probably one of the most common breed of chicken in backyard in the U.S. Everybody has to have a few big buffs to keep them happy with eggs. They're a docile hen. They're extremely good mothers. They're also known for their ability to lay through cold weather. And that's one of the next questions that's going to be taken care of soon is why some of your chickens might have slowed down laying or stopped altogether here in the past few weeks. As far as the type of chicken you should get, I am not the person to tell you that. I would say go with your heart. Look through the chicken catalog, get online, find a chicken that just appeals to you. Research it. Look into it. Some of your leghorn breeds or your small breeds, Hamburgs, Andalusians, they generally tend to be a little bit more skittish and flighty. Penedicincas tend to be very flighty little crazy birds. Your bigger birds like your Brahmas and your Cochins and your Orpingtons, like I mentioned, they're going to be generally more docile. They're going to be just monstrously full of feathers, big balls of fluff, and they're good mothers. So as far as the type of chicken, I can't tell you that. I could recommend some Orpingtons. They're always good. Or, of course, you could always get Fromunda fowl from here in Fromunda Farm, Kentucky. And, that's just, we recommend Fromunda fowl for everybody. And as far as how many chickens you should have, that should be determined on the amount of space you have available. I generally like to say 3 to 4 feet 3 to 4 square feet per large bird. And that's more than enough room within. If you're just beginning, you might have to take into the fact that you may have to order 25 from a hatchery if you don't live close to a breeder. I would recommend getting online, looking up some local breeders, contacting feed stores in the spring, and getting everything together. The time that you've got now, between now and January, I would recommend in putting together a nice coop. Seeing your laws in your city for chickens. And I don't actually have St. Louis law, so I don't know about laws governing poultry within city limits. If you're just wanting eggs, well, I would recommend getting all hens if you live in the city, just because it seems to be a little bit more considerate for your close dwelling neighbors. Now, if you want to have a little bit of fun, excitement, you're allowed to, well, then I would always say get a rooster. Now, do you need a rooster to get eggs? No, roosters don't lay eggs. And nor do they have to be present for the egg laying process. The only thing the rooster needs to be present for is the baby making process. And it's those antics that drive him that make a rooster just fun to have around. So, Janet in St. Louis, I'd like to thank you for sending this question in. If I've done anything to help you, let me know. If I haven't done anything to help you, let me know. And I will try to find somebody who can or who will answer your question better. But as far as the type of chicken you want, get whatever floats your boat in this great big world and makes you happy. And as far as how many you should get, well, that all depends on your space. If you've only got a limited amount of space, maybe 3 to 5 chickens you might get somewhere other than a hatchery might be the route for you. So that's just what you'll have to take into. If you'd like some more specific questions, more specific answers, you could send in more specific questions and we could break in on that and talk more. But I'd like to thank you, Janet. You're the first person that sent in a question to Chicken Chat. And I would like to thank you and everybody else out there in internet land. I'm Colonel J. Scott Congleton, talking to you from Fromunda Farm, Kentucky. Remember, it's nothing but love, peace, and chicken grease out here. Thank you.